Hey, listen now. 4 quarters, 60 minutes, and we're the champions. Yeah! Let's go, baby!
In Super Bowl 12, the Denver Broncos couldn't catch a break. Each time opportunity presented itself, the Broncos let it slip away. The Dallas Cowboys scored 2 long second-half touchdowns to win. And on both occasions, their margin of success was a matter of inches. A matter of inches. The Broncos won 14 games en route to the Super Bowl, including playoff wins over Pittsburgh and Oakland. But in the eyes of the critics, losing to the Cowboys made it all insignificant. The Broncos were branded one-year wonders, a team that would vanish from the playoff scene as quickly as they'd come upon it. And so, as the '78 season began, most football experts agreed that Oakland would regain the Western Division crown and that Denver would slip quietly into oblivion. But Red Miller's team proved the experts wrong. For instead of regressing, the Broncos won 7 of 8 games in pro football's strongest division. And at season's end, they once again reigned as its champion. Anybody who thought that Bronco Mania died the night of Super Bowl 12 was sadly mistaken.
All right, Broncos! Get it up! Come on, man! Let's go! Come on! Get ready! Let's go!
What more dramatic way to begin their title defense than against the team the experts said would take that title away? As usual, the matchup had all the grace of guerrilla warfare. The one dominant force was Denver's defense, which gave the Raiders no avenue of escape. A scoreless first half went down to the final minute before the Broncos rolled a 7.
17 seconds. Morton lobs the ball for Moses. Touchdown! The M&M connection, and the Broncos lead 6-0.
Then midway through period 4, the defense snuffed out Oakland's last hope.
Staber to throw, looking to the left, looking some more, throwing it up the middle. Caught, intercepted, picked off by Bernard Jackson, 50-40, coming left. He is at the 35, still on his feet, out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Denver won handily, and the mighty Raider offense couldn't score a touchdown. A splendid beginning to the 1978 season. But Denver's defensive dominance of the Raiders was no more than Bronco fans have come to expect. In 1978, only Pittsburgh allowed fewer points, and no defense dealt out more punishment. Like all great defenses, the Broncos don't often let running backs turn the corner. Denver's defenders usually arrive in waves, but sometimes one All-Pro can do the job all by himself. Number 20 is All-Pro cornerback Lewis Wright, a rare blend of savvy and tough. Strong enough to stop Walter Payton cold, yet quick enough to outrun everybody to the football. He's as tough to beat deep as he is to beat on the corner, a quality his teammates share with him. For in 1978, only Miami intercepted more passes, and nobody permitted fewer touchdowns through the air than the Broncos. In front of every good secondary is a strong defensive line, and strong is the word for number 72, Don Latimer, Denver's first-round pick in the '78 draft. Latimer's outstanding rookie season prompted Denver to experiment with a four-man line, and it added quality depth to a unit that includes number 66, Bryson Manor, and number 63, John Grant. Anchoring the three-man front was number 68, Reuben Carter, perhaps the NFL's best nose guard, and certainly the only one who has ever appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated. From the outside comes the pass rush of ends Barney Chavis and, of course, All-Pro Lyle Alzado, number 77. Alzado is Denver's tough guy, a hard-nosed veteran from Brooklyn who is both backstreet tough and cat burglar quick. But even Alzado doesn't invade a pass pocket as quickly as All-Pro linebacker Tom Jackson. Jackson gives flair to an exceptional group of linebackers who epitomize the word unit. Sometimes they're a defense unto themselves. Jackson pressuring the passer. Joe Rizzo forcing a fumble. Randy Gradishar adding a lick. And number 51, Bob Swenson, completing the operation. The key man in the unit is Randy Gradishar, proclaimed by many to be the finest inside linebacker in the game. In 1978, he was everybody's All-Pro, and yet he was very rarely this visible. For as Gradishar explains on the Broncos, it's easy to get lost in the crowd.
If you watch any of our films, you'll always see anywhere from 8 to 9 to 10 people around the football, and that includes secondary and defensive line and the linebackers. We don't have real big linemen. We have very small linebackers, and when you don't have the size, you have to compensate with something else, and we've compensated with our speed and our quickness. We all get to the ball, and that's why teams have a hard time getting outside on us.
Such was the case in Kansas City. In Week 4, the Chiefs trotted through all sorts of pre-snap exercises. But when they finally put the ball in play, Denver's linebackers ran it down. Against San Diego, still another defensive Pro Bowler put some lumps on the Chargers. Number 36, Bill Thompson, laid waste to the league's best air game, clearing the stage for the league's premier punt return. And Rick Upchurch provided Denver with its winning points. Through the season's first 7 weeks, Denver's rugged defense allowed only 8 touchdowns and 86 points. In 5 of those weeks, the offense punched across enough points to win. These were good times in Denver. Bronco Mania was alive and well, and Denver was 5-2, tied for first in the A.F.C. West. Throughout the '78 season, Denver's designated starting quarterback was veteran Craig Morton. Though the focal point of considerable criticism, Morton, given good protection, could lay it out for 6 as well as anybody. Morton, however, did have his off days, and Red Miller didn't hesitate to substitute. Against Seattle, number 14 Norris Weiss tossed a scoring pass to running back John Keyworth at one end of Mile High Stadium, while at the other end, number 12 Craig Penrose lofted one to running back Dave Preston. Preston is one of 6 Denver running backs who saw duty, for Red Miller substituted freely in the backfield as well. Preston, Keyworth, Larry Canada, Lonnie Perrin, Otis Armstrong, and Rob Lytle gave Denver a consistent and versatile attack. When the blocking was good, each could pick his way through the hole and power it in for the score. But when the hole was clogged, each could swing outside, as Preston did in overtime to beat Kansas City. In the pass-catching department, Rick Upchurch and Jack Dolbin split time at one wide receiving position, while veteran deep threat Haven Moses, number 25, held down the other. But the most potent weapon in Denver's arsenal was Pro Bowl tight end Riley Odoms. Some of the NFL's finest athletes play tight end, but in 1978, only Dave Casper caught more passes, gained more yardage, and scored more touchdowns than Riley Odoms. He was Denver's busiest receiver with 54 catches, the main man in a rotating 15-man group of skilled players that could do no wrong in Mile High Stadium. But when the Broncos donned visitors white, their fortunes took a turn for the worse. Away from home, Denver learned why champions always say it's easier to get to the top than it is to stay there. Defending champions expect to be treated rudely. But being ready to take an opponent's best shot doesn't always soften the impact. In a difficult mid-season stretch, teams the Broncos should have dominated were getting the best of them. In Baltimore, a blocked field goal cost the Broncos a win. In Seattle, offensive uncertainty nearly cost them another. Denver's confidence was shaky, and only one man knew a remedy. Red Miller awakened his club with some good old-fashioned hell-raising, and Denver turned things around in Seattle. Steve Foley's interception in overtime set up a game-winning field goal as Denver averted a major upset. The following week in Mile High, they attempted to settle the matter early, jumping out to a 28-7 lead over the Jets. But just when things seemed to be coming together, it was the defense that fell apart. Frustration set in as disturbed Denver fans watched a 21-point lead disappear.
Back to pass on first down, throwing it long for Walker, and he's got it on the run at the 30 and will score. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
New York scored 24 unanswered points in a shocking come-from-behind win. If the Broncos were to avoid being one-year wonders, they would need a shot of adrenaline.
All right, now let's go to work. Everybody work hard now. Everybody work hard now. Hey, everybody work hard now. Let's go.
By the time Thanksgiving Day arrived in Detroit, Red Miller's inspirational presence had lifted Denver to wins over Cleveland and Green Bay. At this point in the season, every play was crucial.
Big down now, big down. That-a-way, Rizzo! That-a-way, defense! That-a, baby! Long time in the huddle. Long time in the huddle. Hey, Bernie! Long time in the huddle. Watch play action. Drop the ball. Drop the ball one time.
By the fourth quarter, Denver had run out of defense.
Fumble, fumble, fumble. Fumble, fumble.
This places you in next week's game, then it becomes even more critical with Oakland.
Right. You want me to comment on that? Sure. It boils down to one game. But we knew we'd be in a dogfight all the way, so it doesn't change much. Every week is the same thing. Of course, this puts us in jeopardy now.
Somehow, Red Miller's term, jeopardy, seemed a rather mild description of Denver's predicament.
Hey, Broncos! You see this? You see this? This is what you're gonna get tonight! Hey, Martin, hey, Martin! You hear me, Martin? Hey, Martin, you hear me? Yeah, you get yours tonight, Martin!
Through the first period and a half, Oakland's prophets of doom were right. Denver was catching hell at both ends of every offensive play. Then, midway through period two, a bit of casual abuse proved to be the turning point of the contest. Little Rick Upchurch would not be intimidated, and the Broncos rallied. While Oakland stood around and fumed, number 41, Rob Lytle, gave Denver the lead. Then Denver's defense dug in to protect it. The Raiders had hoped they wouldn't fall behind, for they knew they would be playing right into Denver's hands. And so they were. For when it really counts, good defenses don't allow comebacks. Oakland never threatened again. For the second time in '78, the Broncos did not allow the Raiders a touchdown. On another front, Ray Guy suffered only the third block punt of his career, a tribute to the efforts of Godwin Turk, Glenn Hyde, Maurice Harvey, Bobby Maples, Rob Nairn, and Larry Evans, among others, on the Broncos special teams. But the biggest play of all came from the defense.
And Hum hands the ball to Van Egan. Fumble picked up by the Broncos. Bronco recovering. Here comes Gradishar. 10, 5, goal line. Gradishar recovers the touchdown and scores. It's Denver 20, Oakland 6, 6:37 to go. And there are a few Bronco fans in the crowd.
Yes, there were Bronco fans in Oakland, and they couldn't have been happier. Mission Impossible had been successfully completed, and the Broncos left California to a standing ovation all alone atop the A.F.C. Western Division. The temperature was in the 20s the following week in Mile High. But Bronco fans were oblivious to everything except their team's chances of clinching the division title. Denver's defense turned in its customary strong performance, and Kansas City's potent wing T all but disappeared. The Broncos, meanwhile, had no such problems. The mailman, number 35, Larry Canada, broke off Denver's longest run of the season as the Broncos' ground game powered through the Chiefs. At one point, Craig Morton hit 16 consecutive passes, while Riley Odoms had his best day ever as Denver won going away. It was a moment worthy of celebration. After 15 grueling weeks, the team the experts had written off was a champion once more. Red Miller's Denver Broncos returned to the playoffs in 1978. And although they lost to Pittsburgh in the opening round, the important thing is they got there. One-year wonders they were not. Two-time champions they are.